Hello everyone, TRG here and welcome back to another speed build video in Roville. And today I'm going to be building something which is actually quite a fun build, although it took me about 4 hours with closing the game a few times. Luckily I didn't have to actually close the game as much as I normally had to, which is really good because often these building features have quite bad bugs. But anyway, let's get on to talk about the build. So we are building, as you probably know in the title, a glass diamond jewelry store, and yeah, this is actually quite a nice build. Although there's actually quite a nice house opposite us there, which is really cool. But anyway, yeah, I had this idea. Now just imagine a jewelry store that is completely made out of glass, and it's floating in the air, and it's being supported by these beams over here, which you can see me install. Now these beams are a bit of a headache to install. I recommend that if you download this build, which is on the gallery by the way, I recommend that if you download this build, you don't you don't mess with these beams, because they are, I mean, unless you know what you're doing, they're not very easy to install. It did take me quite a while. Yeah, so yes, I just did the top beams. Now I'm doing the bottom ones. Yeah. And what I actually did forget in this build is to install the other beams down below that attach it together. But you know what? It actually looks fine, and it looks like it is supporting it. It's very unlikely that a building like this would work in a real life jewelry store. But in this game, it definitely can be achieved. And what's really cool is that the entire building is made out of completely of glass, which is a wonderful thing, you know. I think I am going to re-upload or redo another video of just changing the like furniture into a electronic store, because I think it would be cool if I had both of them. Yeah, but anyway, I'm just putting, you see, I was supposed to put these beams at the bottom, but anyway, you know what, it worked. Yeah, so this definitely was a very big job, but hey, you know what, it got the job done. Yeah. So I've been posting quite a bit lately. In fact, I even reached 103,000 views, which is a wonderful thing. And thank you guys for the support and helping me to share my content. That's really good. Yeah. But now I've posted the house code in this video, which is really something. And in this video you'll also see a different version of the 3x3 house, which I did. One of the first speed build videos I did on this channel is I did a 3x3 build, yeah, which you'll see me add here, but this one is very basic. But anyway, now what I'm doing is I know we don't really need this, but I'm sort of adding foundation down below, simply because I'm going to add a lot of fountains and small lakes in this build, and if I don't add those foundations, your character will fall in and most probably get trapped underneath the house. So this so doing that sort of prevents, you know. So now that the foundation of the glass building is sorted, I'm trying to figure out the length of this pond over here. It took me quite a while, but eventually I settled with with a nice big one. Yeah, I was trying to see how I can do with one tile, but then I decided no, 2 tiles, and then I decided no, 3, and all of this. Yes. Yeah. So now this is another trick that if you press B, although I do think you have to pay with this with Robux, but if you press B, you can move objects up and down in between the terrain, which is a very useful trick. So as you can see, I sort of made these fountains built into the water, which is a very nice thing. And you know, now I'm just building the pathway. Yeah, I do enjoy doing these speed builds, but I can't promise a lot of them because they are very time consuming, and as I'm doing it on a MacBook Pro with only 256 gigabytes of storage, you know, I have to plan these speed builds properly, and I mean, this one I had to redo it like 3 times because it just didn't do the thing. Yeah, that column kept that pillar kept glitching out, so I had to restart the game. Yeah, but anyway, so wherever you see these borders which I just made, that's where the ponds are going to be. Yeah, so now I'm just putting in the main pathway. So I thought I would make it like a sort of park vibe underneath, so it's got a bit of benches, and so sometimes I pause because I have to help my girlfriend or do something, so that's why it pauses for a second, but it's fine, it just keeps it going. Yeah. What was I saying? Yes, the type of vibe I have for this jewelry store is that underneath it's quite a weird experience, because underneath there's like a park area with like benches, there's even a little seating area with a TV, and you can sit there and look up and watch people step over you on top of the glass inside of the jewelry store. So it's quite a weird experience, but you'll see what I mean momentarily. I think what I do is yeah. Now here I do actually change this fountain later because I found a bigger one, which I actually found earlier in the video, but then I never actually thought about putting it here. So that was definitely something. Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah. So yes, the really cool thing that I'm going to be doing now, and it's latest to this video, is that in all of my descriptions from now on, in all of my videos, I will include all of the code to my builds. In fact, I'm going to be doing this after I record this video, which is a really cool thing. But I want to tell you guys something. To record this video alone, because of how long it took me, it took nearly 80 gigabytes of footage just to record this one build. So you can understand the constraints I have with managing storage on my laptop. But yeah, so that's just how things are for now. But anyway, the other annoying thing that I really wanted to do was add, as you can see here, add different textured layers of grass, and I accidentally used the texture. But you have to manually add floor to the plot and then change it as grass, which does work, but it requires a lot of things. This game doesn't actually have proper terrain tools, which I really hope they will add one day. Doesn't look like anytime soon, but I hope they will add terrain tools one day. Yeah. So now I'm just making everything match, because I wanted to just blend into the water, and that's what I'm doing here. Is I'm pulling the extension of the pillars and the columns into the water, so it looks like it's built into the pond, which is quite a cool feature. Now here I'm making a public parking lot. Obviously you guys know this game that there's no such thing, but just for view, I mean, this is a jewelry store, so I mean, it is a jewelry store, so you do want to make it somewhat realistic. Well, here I've decided that I'm going to furnish the place before I turn it into all glass, because that's not easy doing it that way. Yeah, especially because when I discovered when I turned the walls into glass, it glitches out, which you'll see. But here I'm adding the lovely cashiers that look incredibly formal. I do actually redesign the style of the cashiers, but I don't change their uniform because that's just too much work, and I'm happy like this. Yeah. So now I'm placing the jewelry cases, and one day I'll get the option to get more jewelry thing, but I suppose it's nice, yeah. But now, as you can see, I'm attempting to turn all the walls into glass, and I actually did another tutorial which I will link in the description of this video. I did a tutorial on how to do this, on how to turn wall into glass. So instead of putting like a window with like borders around, this way you have a completely glass wall, and it's probably cheaper than putting windows, I think. Yeah. So now I'm actually using these pillars as a place to put things. Like I'm putting 2 TVs. I don't know if that makes sense in a jewelry store, but I mean they could like display their latest stuff they're selling or something. Yeah, and I'm placing lights. This room is actually very well lit. You'll see. Yeah, I put wall lights, ceiling lights, and it's got a lot of security, which we will get into now. Now you see, I'm building these pillars, like like in a supermarket or a spa or a shop, you have these big pillars where it detects an item or something when you walk past. Well, this one sort of destroys a character or kills them or something. I don't know. Just sort of like a security measure that, so you can say, oh, if you want to enter here, you have to be my friend, blah, 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 all of that or something. So the people won't enter without your permission because this place doesn't have any doors. So doing it this way sort of prevents people from entering your place, but you can turn this off. I mean, yeah, but these are lasers, that, by the way, if you're wondering. And I put some lights on top because I thought, hey, you know what, that's gonna make it look nice. And on top of the TVs, and as you can see over here, I'm putting security cameras all around, which is definitely a nice touch. It looks like a professional jewelry store. I don't know if this is the right vibe for jewelry store or whatever, but you know what? I know that it will work. Yes. So I'm doing something. Not too sure yet. What am I doing? Oh yeah. Oh no, I think something glitched there. Doesn't matter. Yeah. Oh, I know what glitched, is that the floor glitched, and then I had to try and figure it out. So what I did was I repainted the floor, because with the glass thing, when it comes to building, you just cannot see properly. So I turned it back into normal floor, fixed it, and there we go. Now I'm just working on adding decorations inside to make it as glamorous as possible. So I'm adding a few plants and placing them on the roof by mistake, and just moving them around. Blah blah blah, and yeah, there we go. But don't worry, I'm definitely doing my best to make it look nice. And I couldn't figure out exactly what would be nice to put there, so I just put like a nice fireplace, because I thought, hey, you know what, this is a cool game and we can go crazy, so why not do things that probably wouldn't be allowed. I don't know if a fireplace would be allowed inside a completely glass building. But I guess it will be, yeah. So anyway, guys, I just want to ask you, what are you thinking of this gaming? I mean, of my latest gaming videos. By the time this video comes out, I would have released my first 2 weekend videos, which is Kingdom Come Deliverance and Hogwarts Legacy, which is quite a lot of fun. Yeah. But anyway, these are my. Now I'm just decorating the thing. using this very weird copying tool where you have to keep going in and out of menus, which is very tedious. But you know what? It gets the job done. And I know what you guys are probably going to say, that there's probably a better way to do this, but you know what? It works well. Yeah. Now here I'm using these beams on top to add things like security cameras, and then I add and then I'll add a few lovely lights. Now I'm just looking for those wall flat lights, and there we go. I found them. And then the game crashed, so I had to redo these lights again, which I suppose does happen. Although luckily it hasn't actually happened a lot. Yeah, and the one issue I actually had with this game sometimes is that people kept wanting to come to me or follow or whatever. But don't worry, I should have actually done this build in a private thing. And here I'm just walking around the jewelry store, making sure everything's done, because I was pretty much finished. So I just wanted to make sure everything was all good, no issues there. Yeah. And and then I'll add some street lamps to the parking bay and for the picnic area around here. Yeah. And then I realized, oh no, they clipped into the jewelry store, so which is not good. So I had to shrink them. By the way, I think it's, if I think off the top of my head, it's G to shrink and H to make bigger, I think. But it's one of those. One of those does either one of them. Maybe I'll do a tutorial soon on how to do that. That's actually a good idea. I'll do a tutorial on that. Yeah. Alright. Yeah, so now I'm just adding some lovely benches around this lovely pond, and then I add a vending machine and a few bins, and I'm just deciding on a color. You know, deciding on a color is something that I really battle with in this game, because the textures are really just not very good, you know, in some cases. The majority of the time the category of colors you have is nice. But so the one thing that I forgot, which I actually did add, but I forgot to do it in the video, I did it afterwards, was a sign. So at the front I put a sign that says the glass diamond, but then the name on the marketplace is called the Glass Diamond Jewelry Store. Yeah. I don't think I'm going to be doing it by name or something. Yeah. But you know what? I think we'll be fine. Yeah. This build. Okay, so the price of this building is, of this build is 2,170,000, I think. Yeah, 2,170,000. Because it rounded up to about there. I think it was 1,670,000, and yeah, 70, I think it was. And then I decided, you know what, the effort it took in this build was probably worth me getting a profit of 1 million. But I got so much money already, and I've bought everything in the game, that you know, earning a big profit like that is not really worth it. I mean, I'd much rather just have you guys download the game and download the build at a cheaper price. I mean, 2 million is already incredibly expensive, but if you can afford it, hey, it would be really, really cool, and you guys can make a lot of money. Especially if you got those aspirations. Yeah, especially if you got those aspirations. Yeah. So over here, what I'm doing is I'm now building myself a tiny, well, for you guys really, I'm building a tiny home. I decided that I'm not really going to do anything else in the rest of the build, because I want to leave the area for you guys to add. You guys can even delete this room over here and make your own house. You can change the rest of the thing. I gave you guys a lot of room to play around with and to add, you know. But I just thought, hey, I'll probably get a lot of bad comments if people download this thing. Hey, it hasn't got a house, hasn't got a kitchen, hasn't got a bathroom, all of this. So I put like a like a very basic, tiny version. It's got no decorations, but it's got the amenities: kitchen, bathroom, bedroom. That's basically what it is. A 3x3 home. Now, I still really think 3x3 homes in this game work better than The Sims. I guess it's because you control the character instead of the character doing his own thing. Yeah, anyway, so there we and I didn't even recolor anything. At this point I was just so tired from the build. I just thought, hey, you know what, I'll let you guys do it. And then someone decided to carry me, which was really annoying. So I just went out of build mode to cancel that, and then I went back inside there. I think the painting in here is even quite terrible, but I just wanted to make a nice home for you guys to quickly do your thing. I put a picnic thing there so you can even sit outside and eat. Yeah, so it has a ladder to get up, but I tried everything. Everything in here works. I think you'll even see me do it later. So just adding the kitchen, bedroom upstairs. One thing this place doesn't have is a sink, but you don't really need it. You just click X and it gets rid of the dishes, I think. Yeah. So now I'm just adding like a outside way. I needed to delete more of the grass just to get it here, and then putting the thing here. Now I needed to re-add the grass, and God, I hate doing this, but you know what? It's worth it because it really makes the vibe. I mean, look how cool it looks, dark and green grass. Yeah. I mean, it really does look awesome. Yeah. And now I'm just, but the nice thing about this copy and paste thing is it really does make it easier. Yeah. So now I'm just repositioning it, and I know it doesn't match, but it's not a big thing. I don't think a lot of people will notice. Yeah. But anyway, guys, I want to say a big thank you for watching this video and for all your support. The nice thing about these Let's Plays is I get to talk a bit more in detail. You know, I added a chimney even though we don't need one. But whatever. The nice thing is that we can talk in a bit of detail, you know, have a nice conversation. Yeah. So the rest of the area here, I just added trees and flowers and plants around. You can delete these, and yeah, you can delete them and add your own thing. You can add a pool, you can add whatever you want. If you want to add a basement, you will have to these fountains unfortunately will not have any, I mean these ponds will not have any water. Yeah, and I thought, hey, I thought I'll add some lights down below, which is something, yeah. But I just wanted to say, guys, again, a big thank you for all your support. Thank you for everything. Hit that like button, subscribe, and yeah, have fun with this build, and please download it, play with this a lot, and let me know how much money you make, because oh yes, the store is also fully stocked as well, which is a lovely thing. Yeah. So now I'm just adding a bunch of flowers. Some flowers are floating, by the way. I do apologize about that. I should have actually done the flowers first before the trees, but whatever. It looks cool anyway, and I added a whole bunch of lovely flowers. But anyway, guys, please take care, and I will see you next time.
Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button and subscribe for more content. Your support really means so much. If you have any suggestions, then please leave a comment down below and let's have a chat. If you would like to support the Rumble God, then please go to www.beacons.ai/therumble God official. Anyway, thank you very much for watching and have a lovely day.